Happy Father's Day, guys, to all those fathers out there. I know it's been a month, but I've been a little bit busy, and it is what it is. So, nothing I can say about that. Welcome back to my channel, Aaron NYC Artist. Um, right now it's Saturday. I know is Father's Day, so when this comes out, it'll be Father's Day, and that's that. So, what's been going on so far? Well, it seems that come July, I'll be starting a new job. I'll no longer be teaching. I would have to say that these past 2 years teaching at the Board of Ed has been very interesting. It was an eye opener to see how things were going on the teachers' end and how students nowadays handle certain things. This year I was a science teacher. Eh, wasn't really my thing, but I did the best I can. But it is what it is, and that's that. So, what am I going to be doing? Pretty much, I'm going to be doing what I did before at my previous job. I'm gonna still be in New Jersey, but I'll be a little bit deeper. This company does custom art and other art projects when it comes to wall covering. And my old boss contacted me, and next thing you know, I went for the interview, and a couple of weeks ago, I get the job. Which I was very happy about to hear. And it is what it is. So I pretty much start in July, and we'll see how that goes. As for teaching, Friday was pretty much. I mean, they still got another 5 days, but Friday was like the last day of actual where we actually teach them because the curriculum is pretty much finished up to that point. And I put in their grades, and I decided to give them a nice TED talk about what to expect when they go into eighth grade. Um, and with eighth grade, you have to, if you want to graduate, you have to pass all of your classes. And I explained that to them. You need to pass all of your classes because you do not want to be that person where your parents get that call saying your child is not graduating because they failed X, Y, and Z classes. So they have to go to summer school. Now, depending on how many classes they fail, depending on how severe it is, I told them you may have to repeat the eighth grade, which you don't want to do because then now your friends are gone. They're in high school, they're having fun, they might start meeting other people, and you're left behind. I also gave them a little insight about high school. Whereas in high school, it's not about getting left back, it's about you have X amount of credits that you need in order to graduate. And as I started explaining it to them, they were like, "Oh, so we actually have to pass. Like, yeah, you actually have to pass these classes. You actually have to show up, pass these classes. It's no longer an excuse. You either pass the classes or you go to summer school or night school. If you fail to do either of that and you want to play around, yeah, you can stay in high school till about, in New York City, is up to 21 unless they decide to change it and then they move you out. In which case, you don't want to be a 21-year-old and you still have credits not even to be a sophomore. I've heard stories like that, and I found that to be very, how would I say, I found that to be very troubling when I heard stories like that. But at the same time, like, you really have to be a fool or really be stupid to, or wherever the case is, where you don't care. And now all of your friends, the ones that wanted to make something themselves, graduated from high school, whether they went to college, went to trade school, went to the military, went one of those three routes, and in the end being very successful. And here you are, complaining, or you are blaming others for what you did. Now, when one class, they all actually took it to heart. Well, let's just put it this way. I have four classes, two honors classes, two regular classes. My honor classes, they actually took it to heart, and they actually asked questions. My other two classes, they really didn't. But the one class that I had the most trouble in, of course, you had that one student who was smiling, and I realized, like, yeah, you're the one who is going to be complaining. I can see complaining when you become an adult and blaming other people, yet you don't want to take actions for yourself. And, I pretty much told him, I says, I'm not telling you this as your teacher. I'm actually telling you this as, oh, excuse me, I'm not telling you this as a teacher. I'm not telling you as an educator. I'm telling you this as an adult, a parent with 2 kids, someone who's actually seen what happens when people start wanting to play around and whatnot, and how it led, because it starts as a pattern. It takes 3 months to develop a habit. Well, they develop these habits, and now it's going to take them longer to get out of it if they want to be successful. Now, some of them actually took it to heart and was like, oh, wow, really? Like, yeah. And then others, like I said, especially this one particular student, she was smiling, and I'm like, listen, I'm trying to give you some knowledge here as an adult, as someone who has experience, as someone who's seen what happens when you go down this path. It's not going to be pretty. You are not going to like what ends up happening. But you can only do so much when it comes to that. Now, to those people who are actually graduating, I say this. Congratulations, whether you're graduating from elementary school going to junior high school, you're graduating from junior high school to high school to college, college to the workforce, or maybe you decide to stop off and get your master's or doctorate. Congratulations to you. That's a huge accomplishment. For me, I would say this is my last time probably teaching in the public school. I think as I was teaching, I realized, I don't see myself doing this for the next 20 years. And I was talking to other teachers where they're basically saying the money they're making now, they should have seen at least when they were at their 10-year mark. So these are teachers who are making 6 figures. That they're now just seeing 6 figures after being in there for almost 15 years. This is how New York City works. Now, outside of New York City, of course, it's a little bit different about their pay scale. And I agree with them. I said, no, in my opinion, after 10 years, you guys should be at least seeing 6 figures. Like 110, 110 at least after 10 years. And then, it goes up to maybe the max 150 by the time you reach 20. But you shouldn't be experiencing that 6 figures just as you're about to retire. It doesn't make sense. So you're working your way up to the salary, but you're not going to experience the salary until you are close to retirement. Like, to me, that makes no sense. And the fact that sometimes there are things happening in the school and you're not getting any support from like the higher ups, so that'd be assistant principals, vice principals, and whatnot. Especially when you see things happening. I can say I'm not gonna miss the parents calling me and complaining, oh, my child grade. Like, well, your child should have been doing what he's supposed to be doing from the first place, he or she. I'm not gonna miss the craziness where, you always have fights going on, or you have this going on, you have that going on. And I'm actually hoping by starting this new job, I actually get some sleep during the night. As I was talking to some of the teachers, a lot of them say, sometimes they feel like they're not getting enough sleep. They feel like they're not feeling appreciated. It's like you're basically going there and babysitting someone's kids, and that kid doesn't want to do anything. That's disheartening when, you choose a profession and, number one, you're not getting paid the amount you're supposed to be getting paid for to do something. And on top of that, you're getting blamed for not teaching them the way you're supposed to teach. But then at the same time, you sit there, you're like, well, the kid doesn't want to do nothing. What do you expect them to do? They like, well, call the parent. Parent says, well, I can't control them. Well, okay, now we have a problem. What do you want me to do? So, like I said, I had a student like that where the father was basically telling me, what can I do with my son because my son doesn't listen? I basically told him, listen, kick him out. And he was like, well, I can't do that. I said, is he disrespecting your house? Yeah. Kick him out because it's just going to get worse. Kick him out. Show him what it feels like to be on the street with no, not a roof over your head, not clothing on your back, and then when he comes back, he's gonna learn to respect you. The reason why he's doing it because he's not respecting because he knows that, oh, mommy and daddy are not gonna do nothing. Now, this particular student didn't do nothing in my class, and he failed. So when I was saying this TED talk, I was thinking in my mind like, yeah, let's see how this kid reacts in 8th grade, and see if he changes or not. But from looking at the way he is in other classes, I highly doubt it. Unless something happens, I think maybe mom and dad might decide to pull him out of school and move him somewhere else. Who knows? Nobody knows. But these are some of the things that I've dealt with this year. And I can say that I'm glad I'm done with the teaching thing. I'm just like, I'm done. I'm not, and I can see why a lot of teachers are leaving because it's like, it's not worth your mental health. It's not worth your physical health where you're not feeling appreciated and then you're just a babysitter trying to teach a kid, try to educate a child in a subject that they don't want to be in. It is what it is. Nothing can be do about it. So that's that. But all in all, that's all I wanted to say. Happy Father's Day. I figured and just say what's going on. Right now, if you were looking at what I was doing, I was actually practicing my perspective drawing. This was actually supposed to be for a contest, but I didn't make it in time to submit it. So I said, screw it, let me just keep working on it and then take it from there. Of course, after doing everything, I looked at it and says, I don't like it, and I started from scratch. So I went back and started from square one all over again. So maybe it's a good thing that I didn't submit it. And of course, the way this contest was set, it looks like it was going on 2 or 3 months, and I end up showing up in the last month of it. So I really didn't have time to like actually sit down and think about it. I figured since they're running contests for like 3 months long, the next time they have this, I'm going to actually take my time, sketch, look at stuff. I mean, I had a mood board from Pinterest, taking things from the internet to help me out. But in the end, I just didn't like it. So I says, you know what? If I don't like it, they're not going to like it. So let's go back and start from square one, which I'm doing now. So I just wanted to show you where I was at with this one. And then on the next video, hopefully show you where what it turned into. So you can see that process. And of course, it's been a while since I've done perspective drawing and having intricate perspective drawing and having a figure in there. So that's what I'm working on now. That's what I want to start doing more of, because I realize like, yeah, I really need to do more of this. But every once in a while, doing something simple isn't such a bad idea also. But it is what it is. I mean, I have the whole summer. I'm not going to sit there and rush on it. I'm going to take my time with it, especially since working at this new job. It's going to be a little bit of back and forth, but on a good note, at least it's a hybrid, so 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. That's how it's going to work. But anyways, once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and I'll see you next time.